there is this story, a story from long, long ago in the heartland of modern Russia about a bright young woman named Nashtinka Rashkonolikov. And this young Nashtinka, she was to be the first ever female lawyer ever to come out of Russia's legal system and was to bring great pride and great joy to the Raskolnikov family. Now, this was what was supposed to occur, but fate was not so certain. Because once Nashtinka, yeah, that's the name I'm going with. It's a real name, by the way. I had to look it up. So this Nashtinka, she comes walking down the steps of higher learning when all of a sudden an ill omen happens, and she starts to hear the howling of a crow. Caw, caw, it goes. And then right after that, there is this woman walking right next to her, and then her little child carriage goes scrambling downwards and then careening towards the pavement below. But Nashtinka relaxed quickly. She runs down and she saves the baby carriage from falling down into the concrete. And she saves the baby like a hero. But that's not where it ends, because somewhere far into the distance in the streets of St. Petersburg, you hear another caw, caw. And then what she sees now is an elderly man walking across the street, and then from the other side, a hansom careening out of control. It was not a very handsome horse, by the way. It was carrying a hansom, and then the hansom just comes charging forth. But Nashtinka was too quick for the hansom, and then she runs forth, and then she pushes the old man out of the way and saves him from the careening hansom going down the street. And at this point, she's starting to feel pretty good about herself, saving all these people. But that is sadly not where it ends, because the next moment, we arrive on the outskirts of town with the iron horses and train tracks going everywhere. And then all of a sudden, this train comes off the tracks, and then it spews wildly out of control, and it makes its way to hit an old man right next to the tracks. But Nashtinka was fast this time, and then she ran after the train, and then she pushed the old man, and this time she couldn't save him. Oh yeah, did I mention that the crow went caw, caw before the train went? Yeah, that was another important little thing. Just remember the caw, okay. And so what happens is she tried to save him, but yeah, it was too late. He got a rail spike right through the chest. And but after he was impaled with the rail spike, the man stands up, and then he holds his side, and then he looks down at himself and says, "Damn, I gotta quit smoking." Which he did. It was another miracle by Nashtinka. That man quit smoking for the rest of his life, which was not very long, because remember, he had a railroad spike through his chest. And at this point, Nashtinka takes a moment to pause and look at this bird. And this bird, she decides to see as a good omen. And she says, "My God, this bird is a gift from heaven. It wants me to follow this bird so that way I may save many people. So I am going to quit my job as a lawyer, and I am going to become a folk hero following this bird." And thus, Nashtinka ventures forth to tell the whole family. She tells her mother Raskolnikov, and says, "Mother, I'm going to quit this silly business with law, and I am going to go into being a folk hero by following this bird around." And then she goes up to one of her brothers, little Gregorovich, and then she says, "Gregorovich, I'm going to quit this silly business with a lawyer, and I'm going to become a folk hero and follow a bird." And then she goes up to the old man Balanolikov, and then she says to him, "I know you've been looking at my ass, old man. Cut it out. I'm going to be a hero." And then what happens is she comes up to her older brother, Ladanovich, and she says, "Ladanovich, I'm going to quit being a lawyer, and I'm going to follow a bird for the rest of my life." And then she comes to her oldest brother, Dave, and then she says, "Dave, I'm going to follow a bird." So this word starts to get around town, because Nashtinka is a bit of a local celebrity now. And the Father Raskolnikov, Gregorovich Raskolnikov, I think that was the name of the brother, but whatever, I'm rolling with it. And he comes up to Nashtinka and says, "Nashtinka, what is this word about this silliness, this foolishness of you quitting being a lawyer so that you can go around and follow some bird? I don't know what to make of it, Nastinka. You have completely betrayed us as a family. You were to be the greatest amongst us and become the greatest lawyer in all of St. Petersburg to bring pride and joy to the family of the Raskolnikovs. But as he is talking, the bird descends, caw, caw, and then lands right on the shoulder of Nastinka. And then his father is enraged, looking, I'm ashamed to know you, to call you my daughter, Nastinka. What do you have to say for yourself? And then what happens is calmly, Nastinka looks at her father and says, I don't know, I think I serve a noble cause. Noble cause.